on the other side.
She had a 3-home run game earlier this year. Could she do it here? She will bat second. 6 home runs in her 8 hits this season. Lexi Kilfoyle making her home debut here in Chicago against this Cascade lineup.
She's going to be heavy drop ball.
And a first pitch swinging from Corby Otis. 1 pitch, 1 out. And a quick start to this game.
Looked good in her first start, coming over from the Japan Diamond League. A late start to play in the AUSL, but a massive pickup to get on this Bandits pitching staff. 5 innings pitched, did not give up any runs and only 4 hits.
2 outings so far, a win and a save for Lexi Kilfoyle to begin her 2026 campaign. Here's Megan Grant. And a first pitch buzzes the tower, a hit by pitch, and Grant is aboard. That's one way to not give up a home run.
That is one way. And the thing about Megan Grant is that she has a high on-base percentage. We saw that at UCLA as well. Pitchers try to pitch her tight in because they don't want her to get her hands extended, even on a changeup that Kilfoyle throws here, and just barely gets her.
So Grant is aboard as Sydney Stewart takes a first pitch strike. Former Arizona standout. Still trying to figure things out at the plate right now.
So much potential in the bat of Sydney Stewart. That's why, you know, it's a big deal whoever is going to hit behind Megan Grant. So you have a rookie in Megan Grant and a rookie in Sydney Stewart, and they have the belief in her to be the one that protects her in this lineup.
Off the end of the bat. Could this be 2? It is. Lexi Kilfoyle gets the ground ball, and the Bandits unscathed in the top of the first. They'll come to bat when we come back.
She's only walked 9 in those 25 innings, and she's been heavy drop ball, been using that pitch more this season. Screwball, mix in a rise ball, and her changeup as well. But that drop ball is a very effective pitch for her. She's going to keep the ball down, her and Kilfoyle both, which is important because the wind is blowing so hard out towards center field today. Both drop ball pitchers will roll a lot of ground balls.
And a first pitch strike for Sam Landry. To your point, Lexi Kilfoyle, 2 ground balls, 5 pitches. Pretty quick top half of the first inning. Skylar Wallace stepping in 500 in a limited sample size to begin her season after coming over from Japan as she fouls this one off. The premier hitters in our game, Chicago, in this lineup that was already the best in the league. Glad to get her back. And just keeps on hitting. A leadoff single off of Sam Landry, who gave up just 2 hits in her last start. She's welcomed to Chicago by Skylar Wallace.
Well, and it's not very often that she gives up a 2-strike hit at that. Opponents are only hitting 136 off of her with 2 strikes. Usually she's in command. That was an 0-2 pitch. That was just a little bit too sweet. And Skylar Wallace, welcome back from Japan. She has been hot, hot, hot.
Speaking of welcome backs, Erin Koffel back in the lineup after sitting out the final game of the series against Oklahoma City. Called it a rest day midway through the season, trying to keep her fresh down the stretch of the year.
Yeah, I mean, think about what the Bandits did offensively last weekend in those 2 games against the Spark. I just was watching them. They were hitting the ball so hard off of the Spark pitchers, and they hit 455 in 2 games, and Erin Koffel didn't even play in one of those games. So this is a Bandits lineup that something just clicked when they were in Oklahoma City, and you can tell with the Skylar Wallace leadoff single that they're trying to keep that offensive momentum rolling.
Wallace aboard at first as Landry misses outside. It was definitely a bad weekend to be a pitcher in that series. 11 runs per game, 7 home runs. And the first 2 are aboard as Erin Koffel, who leads the AUSL in walks, has her team leading 12th of the season.
Well, you could tell there's just a bit of a lack of command already for Sam Landry with the 0-2 pitch that was just a little bit too up to Skylar Wallace, and then walking Aaron Koffel there, trying to find this strike zone early. A lot of respect to these Bandits hitters because of what she likely saw them do the last 2 games against the Spark. I mean, the ball was flying off their bats. And in fact, this Bandits team, in terms of exit velocity, hits for the highest exit velocity in the league, over 60 miles an hour. In fact, as an average, 61.7. No other team hits over 60 for their exit velocity average. The ball comes off their bat hard.
They have not been cheated at the plate much this season. Did have a pinch runner. Jessica Clemens is at first base as that one gets by Sydney Stewart.
Pinch running number 5.
Both runners advance, and the Bandits with a chance to strike early. Sam Landry's been almost untouchable lately. Was going up against, statistically, the league's best offense here midway through the season. Now, you're a pitcher in this situation. You talked about maybe the command being off a little bit. How do you lock back in?
Just has to happen with one pitch. Maybe even that screwball that she hit her release point on and looked better. Look how that one pitch can then move into that next pitch, a changeup that she gets ahead of Sammy Williams 1 and 2. It literally, you're always just one pitch away as a pitcher from getting an out, from feeling good again, from feeling confident again.
Just off the corner. Alex Leap, our home plate umpire tonight. Jim Cooper's over at first. Robbie Guest is at third. Two runners in scoring position against the Cascade Ace. And a big swing and a miss. A first strikeout. And Landry gets the out she was searching for.
What a big out. Two runners in scoring position, and Sammy Williams has been the hottest hitter in the league up to this point. She went right at her and got her with the drop ball, finished her off with that drop ball outside. That's a big out, and that could be the batter that gets Sam Landry back on track.
Mac Barber swinging at the first pitch, a reserve pool call-up. She's come in and had an instant impact, hitting in the 4-hole today. Out in left field early on in this game. 4 for 9 with runners in scoring position as Barbara early in her AUSL career. But quickly behind in the count here, 0-2.
Small sample size, but you're right. I mean, the way that Mac Barbara has just plugged into this Chicago Bandits lineup. 5 for 13, already 5 RBIs. She has been generating some offense in the middle of this lineup for this team.
Landry misses away there on the 0-2. And that's what you have to do when you come up out of that reserve athlete pool. You've got to take advantage of your opportunities because tomorrow's not guaranteed.
It's important to prove yourself here.
1-2 high. Four games in, Barbara has reached in all 4 early in her pro career. And has worked the count full. A nice bounce back after Sam Landry had gotten ahead 0-2.
Yeah, and all but 3 hitters are going to be left-handed hitters in this Bandits lineup.
Goes the other way. Coming in as Otis makes the catch. The tag at third. The throw home is not in time as Skylar Wallace crosses the plate. And Chicago gets to Landry here in the first.
Well, the Bandits have that home run power, but they also have speed, too. This is the type of Bandits offense that we saw last year where they're able, or Skylar Wallace is able, on a shallow fly ball to left field to be able to score on that and turn it into a sacrifice fly. Great job of Mac Barbara. 2-strike hitting, elevate the ball to the outfield, get a run on the board.
Skylar Wallace, during her college career at Florida, it felt like every time she got on, she was almost a lock to steal a base. One of the best in that category in Gators history as Morgan Zirkle steps to the plate. Shows bunt, pulls back for a player who has played the most games ever by anyone in Athletes Unlimited. That's dating all the way back to AUX and championship, including the last 2 years here in the AUSL. Ground ball back to Landry, off the glove. Zirkle's going to reach. As Jessica Clements crosses home plate. It's a 2-spot here in the first inning for the Chicago Bandits.
It's a tough play, not easy at all, and Sam Landry is one of the better defenders in the circle of all the pitchers in this league. That's why she goes so hard for this, understanding that Sis Bates is playing back a little bit. Morgan Zirkle runs really well, so she thinks that the only way to get that out would be for her to cut it off, which she is fully capable of doing. We've seen her make a lot of great defensive plays in her time.
It was ruled a single for Morgan Zirkle. 2 hits in this bottom of the first inning. The same amount that Sam Landry sprinkled in her last start against the Texas Volts. Got some help from her offense at the end of that game. Struggling a little bit here early. 22 pitches already for Sam Landry, in stark contrast to the 5 pitches we saw Lexi Kilfoyle throw in the top of the first. Mariacopa steps to the plate. And you knew this was going to be a tough outing for Sam Landry against a really good hitting Chicago team. A little bit different than maybe some of the other offenses that she has faced early on in the year. Yacopa off the glove of Powell at third, and the inning will continue.
It's a play that absolutely has to be made, especially after a walk in this inning, an 0-2 hit by Skylar Wallace to start the inning, and then that hit by Morgan Zirkle off the glove. And Kennedy Powell has been so good defensively over at third base, another rookie for this Cascade team, but cannot pick that one off the turf. And Bandits keep on going.
Kennedy Powell played her college ball at Texas A&M. Signed before the start of this year, has been the primary third baseman for most of the year for the Cascade. Megan Grant's got a couple of starts over there as well. Jocelyn Erickson quickly behind in the count. 0-2 was the top catcher off the board in the college draft earlier this season. Coming off of a nice showing in the final game against the Spark. Had 3 hits, a career high. And that's on the corner as Sam Landry gets out of the inning, but gives up 2. The Bandits up early on the Cascade. Not early on in the year for the Bandits. It's always great to see when these rookies just come in and from day one really perform. We've seen that across the AUSL this year, let's be honest.
We have an all right side rookie infield for the Bandits. All rookie left side for the Cascade. Just so many young players that are just getting their first taste of their pro experience in comparison to somebody like Mia Davidson, who has been a veteran and had many years of pro softball experience under her belt, but so many rookies making an impact in all different parts of the game.
Davidson just added to the roster, pops up. There's Agbayani, makes the catch. Don't look now, Lexi Kilfoyle is being incredibly efficient early on in this outing. 8 pitches to record 4 outs.
This is how she rolls, so she's going to really rely on her drop ball. That's going to be her go-to pitch, 67 to 68 miles an hour. We didn't get a chance to talk about all her pitching tools last inning because she got such quick outs. But she arguably has the best drop ball in the league, and they can follow it up with a 50-mile-an-hour changeup. She'll also work an off-speed curveball, too. But that drop ball is her bread and butter, and then she'll mix in a changeup that tunnels really well with that drop ball. Takes about 20 miles an hour off of it.
Catches the corner there, and we've been talking all day. You felt like with this pitching matchup, this game had a chance to really fly by. That's what Lexi Kilfoyle was able to deliver in that top of the first.
And Sam Landry has looked like that as well. Very efficient, has had exceptional command. Just slow start today in that first inning, but always time to rebound.
Kilfoyle staked to a 2-0 edge here early on. This Dallas is off the plate to Kenley Cahalan, who's really started to figure things out with the bat lately. 4-game hitting streak, rewarded by a jump in the batting order up to the 5th spot here this evening for Tariah Flowers' side. Swings at this pitch, drives it into right field. It'll get down and one hop the wall. Cahalan has a double here to begin the away half of the second.
Yeah, wind is going to be a little bit tricky on a day like today, but honestly, I think that Kenley Cahalan should be standing at third base. I have seen many balls like that to the right side that go all the way to the wall that the right fielder does not play well, and many of them with speed like Cahalan get themselves to third base. Instead, it'll turn into a double, which is still a sweet swing off of a changeup there by Kilfoyle, but she should be standing at third base in my opinion, and I don't know if she just wasn't running hard out of the box or rounding, kind of lets up, right? Like right there, she lets up the entire time out of the box. She should be thinking triple.
No doubt that the wind here in Chicago makes everything a little bit of a question once it's put in the outfield. Bella Dayton out there in right has been playing over and left a lot this year. There's Tori Vidalis. With the wind blowing directly out to center field.
And you'll notice too how much Bella Dayton is playing toward the right field line. She's kind of taking a couple steps toward right center right now, but she's really playing close to that right field line. There's a big gap toward right center field, playing pretty deep as well with that wind blowing out.
That one hits Vidalis, and she will go down to first base. 2 aboard. It does help with that outfield alignment, though, when you have Morgan Zirkle out in center field. She can cover a ton of ground.
Yeah, she can cover a lot. Jessica Clemens is an elite outfielder in left field.
Like that may have caught a piece of Yacopa. She's been a little bit banged up, and she was hit by a pitch up in that face area a couple of games ago.
Off the ground, chest protector, and then off of her mask. And I'm sure that anything hit in that area right now is so sensitive for her based off of what she went through in that game a couple of games ago when she took a pitch off the face mask when she was hitting.
She came out of that game and then was back in the lineup as a DP the next day. And Nicole, you can add.
Well, as you mentioned, she got hit squarely in the face whenever she was hitting just 2 days ago. She was able to make an appearance and have an at-bat, but that area is still black and blue. You can see it whenever that catcher's mask is not on. But the toughness, she was able to pop back in the very next day and pinch hit. That tells you the kind of toughness that you have behind the plate if you're Bandits.
Well, and she's been a leader for this team this year. Before Skylar Wallace and Lexi Kilfoyle and Kat Sandercock joined the team from Japan, Mary Jacopo was really producing offensively. You could tell that she was stepping up in a big way for this Bandits team. And you had that toughness, Nicole. That is just a different level when your catcher shows that type of toughness, wants to be in the lineup like the way that she is.
An 8-game hitting streak early on in the year for the veteran behind the plate. There's Kennedy Powell, first year in the AUSL, a chance to atone for that error last inning. Powell's been so sure-handed at third this year, came in just 1 error on the season, but commits an error in that home half of the first inning. One back up the middle. They're going to send Cahalan home. Vidalis goes to third, and Kennedy Powell delivers to put Portland on the board.
Hitting her best pitch, too, Kennedy Powell. This is a drop ball that she just stays on, and it is not easy to hit a Lexi Kilfoyle drop ball because of how she's able to throw it even more up in the zone like this pitch. But Powell stays on it, drives it through the infield, keeps her feet still. Does not slap that one, does not show bunt, swings away to drive in a run, cut the lead in half.
And now a circle visit here. And don't look now, we thought we were going to see a pitcher's duel. We've seen some early offense from both of these teams.
You just never know. You show up to the ballpark and you think one thing, and then sometimes you get something very different.
It's the best part of the job.
Yeah, keep you on your toes. Shauna Stanton is out there talking to the infield, the head coach of the Bandits. Speaks with a lot of passion to this team. Always enjoy talking to Shauna Stanton and all of these coaches in the league and the general managers as well. We're just so lucky to be surrounded by quality human beings, the 6 teams that we have.
And plenty of great softball early on this season. I guess maybe we can not use the word early at this point. We're past the midway point of the year already.
It's going by too fast.
It is.
Slow down.
Sis Bates steps in, runners on the corners. Bates been a little bit quiet lately at the plate as she stares at a first pitch strike. Known for her fantastic defense, she's a walking highlight reel out at second base, but this Portland team could really use some offense from the bottom third of this lineup. Runners going on the play. Powell going to slide in safely. And 2 in scoring position now for Portland.
Looks like Shauna Stanton might see if she potentially left early. Could be challenging that. We'll see if that's what they're talking about.
It was challenging that the run left early pitch is now under review.
An early challenge for Shauna Stanton.
Oh, she did. I think that she's going to get called out. You cannot leave until the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. And Kennedy Powell got such a good jump here. She definitely left early, and the cameras are going to catch it. This is going to be an out. And another mistake by Kennedy Powell in this game.
And that's a tough one because now you'll have 2 outs in the inning. Mistake instead of runners on second and third and 1 out. Now a runner on third with 2 outs. And Sis Bates still at the plate. Bates trying to come through as that one rolls to home plate.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, right? Just going to smile about it. Just a mistake where the ball falls out of her hand or just loses her grip.
It's hot out here. Maybe some sweat.
That's right.
Call on the corner. Bates won for her last 11 at the plate, but no better time than the present to come through. The 1-2, and Bates gonna send that one into the gap. That's gonna score a run. Bates thinking about 3. She's tripped a couple times, still able to get to third, and Sis Bates delivers, and this game is tied.
Good piece of 2-strike hitting there by Sis Bates, and you can't help but think that Kennedy Powell should have been on base when she hit that. It would have been another RBI for Sis Bates. She just stays on this drop ball. It is a little bit elevated, gets her barreled in the bottom half of it, but this is a veteran who has played on this field. In comparison to Kenley Cahalan, ball went to the outfield. She's standing at second. Sis Bates knows on a ball like that she can get to third.
First triple of the season for Sis Bates. That one had to feel good. Talked about Portland trying to find some more production from the bottom of this lineup. 7 and 8 hitters have each delivered RBI hits. Kendra Falby hits one hard. Skylar Wallace to a knee, recovers with a firm throw to first for the final out of the inning. Portland delivers.
A bit there. And we don't get what we get here in the AUSL, but we love the access and being able to get an inside look into the umpires, the coaches, the players. But also, how about Shauna Stanton trying to pull a fast one onto Alex Leap? Alex Leap said, no, no, no.
He was on top of it.
He was on top of it.
Sam Landry back out there for a second inning of work. Bunt shown here. Here comes Powell. And Chicago will have a leadoff base runner on the perfectly executed play by Bella Dayton.
It's the type of bunt that is put down and you're like, okay, that's not even fair, the way that she put that down. And it was on a changeup, so she had plenty of time to track this ball in, put it at the end of her barrel, and just drop it in no man's land. Really, there's 3 defenders going for that bunt. None of them would have been able to get her out, even if it was played 100% perfectly.
Another bunt here from Agbayani, ruled foul. And this is what I love about the game of softball. You talked about in the first inning the exit velocity for this Bandits team, and then they go drop down a bunt to get a base runner on early.
Yeah, they have a really good balance of both speed and power throughout their lineup. That's how Jenny Dalton-Hill, their general manager, wanted to draft them, and Shauna Stanton, even at Indiana, where she's the head coach, prides herself on strength and overall athleticism. And her teams at Indiana and Marshall, where she was before, they run.
They do.
They steal a lot of bases. So very aggressive on the base pass. And then you have that power that the Bandits provide as well. And it's just such a nice balance for their offense.
Tied for the league lead in stolen bases this year. Another slow roller. Landry gets to it this time. Retires Bayani for the first out of the inning. That Indiana team, 5th in the nation in stolen bases this last year, over 100, and it feels like they do that year in and year out. This shows all the different ways you can win a softball game.
She told me, I had them for regionals in Knoxville, she told me that stealing bases is a mindset. And I always think about that phrase because it just makes me laugh as Skylar Wallace gets hit by a changeup there, just barely. But Shauna Stanton saying stealing bases is a mindset, and she means it too. But I don't know. For me, it wasn't a mindset. I just did not have the speed to steal bases, so I wish that I would have learned that mindset from her at a young age. But it is a mindset with how she coaches these offenses. Very aggressive, always looking to take an extra 60 feet.
It's interesting because you tend to think of it as an athletic move, but in softball, it's a little bit more challenging because your foot's not able to come off the base until that ball is thrown, much like we saw Kennedy Powell make that mistake an inning ago.
With being able to challenge that play with video review, it's really changed the game as well, as Shauna Stanton wants to go up to Alex Leap now about something.
You probably wouldn't have given up any stolen bases back in your day if there was still video review on those plays.
That's right.
Koffel worked a walk in her first plate appearance. Up with 2 aboard. And if you're Sam Landry, you came into this inning thinking about a quick shutdown inning after getting 2 runs. Threw some high-stress pitches in that first inning. 27 pitches for the Cascade ace. And falls behind here.
Not everything, but a lot of things just seem a little bit off for the Cascade on defense. Even the way that Sydney Stewart caught that ball. It was a drop ball, didn't look like she recognized it. Sam Landry just a little bit off with her command. You see her shaking her head after that pitch, just kind of fighting herself.
And now the bases will be loaded for the hottest hitter in this league in Sammy Williams. That'll elicit a circle visit. And Wednesday night, the Carolina Blaze take on the Oklahoma City Spark at 7 Eastern. Catch the game live on ESPN2 and stream every inning on the ESPN app. Blaze coming off of a series or an opening win in that series and come from behind fashion yesterday.
Like every day we have a game on ESPN2, which is mind-blowing as a fan and a broadcaster of this sport to see the coverage that AUSL is getting and how many people want to watch and are tuned in to these incredible athletes. Games on ESPN, ESPN2, one right after another, almost every day.
Came out yesterday, but viewership for the AUSL up 181% this year over this same point a year ago. And we touched on Sammy Williams this season. It's not a bad year. Chance to deliver here again against Landry. Hits the ball hard into center field. That gets down. Falby got to it quickly. That's going to keep Aaron Koffel at third. But Sammy Williams with her team-leading 8th multi-RBI game of the year. She just keeps raking.
Sam Landry struck her out in her first at-bat on a drop ball out. And so Sammy Williams is going to be aggressive on that side of the plate in this next at-bat, wasting no time. That drop ball stays a little bit up. She hits it exactly where it's pitched. You're not going to believe this, but Sammy Williams this season is hitting .727 with runners in scoring position. And now 7 of her 9 hits with runners in scoring position have been extra base hits.
Just call that clutch. Just continues to come through for this Bandit side. League leading 18 RBIs now. If you're the Bandits, you touched up Sam Landry in that bottom of the first inning. You get to her again here now, trying to put up a crooked number. Showed you a moment ago, Sam Landry coming in on ERA just north of 1. Has already given up 4 earned through an inning and a third. Now Barbara, and that one just missed the line.
Yeah, this Cascade pitching staff is not even just about Sam Landry. They have the second best pitching staff in the league behind the Talons, who are currently sitting at #1 in the standings. So we talked a lot about Sam Landry, but they have some serious depth behind her if they want to go to the bullpen. Probably trying to see how long they can ride her out, not wanting to go too early. But she just looks a little bit off today. Does not quite look her same sharp self, which is going to happen. Every day when you step into the circle, you feel a little bit different. Sometimes it's for the best, sometimes it's for the worst. And this is a couple of pitchers that they've relied on alongside her, Kenzie Brown and Kelly Maxwell. And they just got Carly Hoover back, and also have Peyton Gotshall.
Here's Barbara, delivers a single into center field as the merry-go-round continues. And Peyton Gotshall, who's warming down in the bullpen right now for the Cascade, starting to throw with a little bit more urgency. That might be the last pitch that Sam Landry's thrown in this game. Came in on a stretch of dominant outings, 3 straight complete games. But was going up against the league's best offense. And it's been the Bandits who will send Sam Landry to the dugout early. Here.
Yeah, she has really good stuff. Oftentimes they like to use her in relief or bridge her to the next pitcher. And she can go pretty deep into games, too. She has good enough stuff, moves the ball around the zone well enough where she can face the lineups multiple times. Will rely on her curveball, rise, screw, and an off-speed curveball that she throws, too. But her curveball variations is her go-to.
Now the runner's coming home. The throw in time. Chicago was going for it. That's the aggressiveness you mentioned earlier for Shonda Stanton. A close play at the plate.
First and third situation, looking to see what Sydney Stewart is going to do with that throw, but Kenley Cahalan put that throw on the money for Sydney Stewart. So that's rookie to rookie, and this is going to get challenged. I don't see obstruction there by Sydney Stewart. She played that perfectly, positioned herself perfectly to take that throw, and then she puts a tag right on Williams. I think that this is going to stand.
So the only question I have, did Williams utilize the swim move right there and get that right hand in?
I think she got her on her left hand, right there, where her hand was kind of, or her palm was a little bit up when she was sliding. If her fingertips would have been down, I think her fingertips would have gotten there, but I don't see anything clear and obvious to me watching that. It's a big out, and Cascade needed that after giving up a couple of runs, or 3 runs already in this inning.
Do you like utilizing your second challenge right there? You don't have one the rest of the game now.
Not really.
Can't take it home, though.
Right.
You're up big early. Little different rules here at the professional level and the college level. When you had that successful challenge, you were able to keep it. Not so here at the pro level. So Chicago will be without a challenge for the remainder of this game. But a big play nonetheless for a Cascade team that could desperately use an out. Love the aggressiveness, though, from this Bandit side. Already with a 3 spot in this inning, trying to add more.
That's a good response after the Cascade responded to the Bandits scoring first.
And that one catches the corner for Peyton Gotshall. She comes in, gets out of the jam. 5-2 center stage, the Cascade and the Spark at 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Women's Sports Sunday, let's go.
This Cascade team red hot right now. Coming in just a game out of first place. If they were able to win tonight in Utah, the game taking place later on in the evening, the Cascade could actually find themselves with a share of first place.
Cascade right behind the Talons in the standings, and it's right there in the middle. But gosh, again, so much softball on ESPN.
Great time to be a softball fan coming off of the Women's College World Series that put up record numbers, and it's carried over here into the pro season. One defensive change. Taryn Kern is in left field now. We saw some late lineup changes ahead of this game. The order was still the same, but there was some defensive reshuffling.
And we thought that Erin Koffel was going to be playing shortstop, but it seemed like she was a late scratch defensively. She's still hitting, so they moved Skylar Wallace, who, with coming back from Japan, they're really putting her in center field, keeping Erin Koffel at shortstop, but switched her around. Skylar Wallace was the everyday shortstop last year for the Bandits.
3-0 pitch coming to Corby Otis. Pitches the inside corner to arguably Portland's most consistent hitter early on this season. Hits in 8 of her first 12 games. Exactly what you want out of your leadoff hitter. She's gotten on a ton this season. And now the count moves full.
And those additional runs that the Bandits put up too are tough for Portland because they've just not been generating the offense that some of the other teams have been generating. When you look at their offensive ranks across the league in terms of batting average, they are the lowest in the league. Had some home runs last weekend against the Volts, which kind of sparked them.
Ground ball up the middle. Otis will be aboard. 5-game on base streak for Corby Otis. And early on in this outing, for both sides, there's been a lot of hitting against 2 really good pitchers.
And now look for Megan Grant coming up with a runner on to be early in the count. 3 of her 6 home runs have been on the first pitch. She's been liking to be aggressive.
The AUSL leader in home runs. Takes the first pitch on the inside corner. That's not normally a part of the plate that she loves to get a swing off of. It's hit by a pitch. One way to keep her inside the park. Hits this ball hard to right. Plenty of room. Arbella Dayton makes the catch for out number 1. You got to be really careful throwing on that inside of the plate to Megan Grant.
A lot of pull power.
Batting next, number 24, Sydney Stewart.
So with 1 down, that'll bring up Sydney Stewart, wrapped into an inning-ending double play back in the first.
Yeah, this Lexi Kilfoyle drop ball is just a lot to deal with. When you look at her numbers and kind of dig deeper into the data of her drop ball, she has 11 inches of vertical breakdown. And you think about how tall she is. She stands at over 6 feet tall, so that pitch starts a little bit higher than what a pitcher who's my size, like 5'5", 5'6", that pitch is going to be able to go down a lot further through the strike zone because of how tall she stands. So that 11-inch of break can easily happen through the zone.
Stewart stays on it to right field, drops in a single as Otis takes the extra base. Stewart's going to stay put at first. And the Cascade set up with runners on the corners with 1 out here in the third. Had to go down and get this one.
She picks up on a changeup that Look at her just stay down, eyes down on that changeup, on time with it, low and away, deep into her legs, sending it the other way. That is a beautiful swing by Sydney Stewart.
Good approach at the plate for the rookie out of Arizona as Mia Davidson swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Davidson joined this team in the last series against the Texas Volts, a series that this Portland side would sweep. Second road sweep of the year, also swept the Talons in that second series of the season as Davidson quickly falls behind here 0-2.
It's a tough drop ball to handle on the inside corner. And the thing about her drop ball, too, is that it moves in toward the right-handed hitters. When you look again at the data, 11 inches of down movement, but also 3 inches of movement in toward a righty.
Gets in on the hands of Davidson there, and it will be 2. We're 3 innings in, and this Bandits defense has turned 2 double plays in support.
Here and see the best softball athletes in the world. You can go to the Sephora Braid Bar and get your hair done. And I mean, this is a sellout crowd, and I think it's been well reported. There's a heat dome going on. That is severe record-breaking heat wave happening across the Midwest and the eastern part of our country, and these fans are still showing up. And you know what I love is how many teams show up together. It's like you just don't come as an individual. You grab your friends and take them to the ballpark and have a chance to see a professional softball game live and in person.
Ashton Maloney did enter the game for the Cascade out in right field. 93 degrees. Talked to one grandpa in the hotel lobby. He brought his granddaughter. She's a pitcher, loves watching Sam Landry. Her catcher and travel ball also came with her. They traveled 4 hours for this game as Yacopa hits one to short. Cahalan over to first. And speaking of another team that traveled to get here, Nicole Mendez, I hear you've got one.
I definitely got one. What has it been like? You came all the way from Michigan. Your team is here behind you. What has it been like? What made you want to come to this game?
I just want to introduce the girls that they know they can dream big and do whatever they want in life if they set their mind to it, and what a better way to do it than pro softball.
Absolutely. And then rumor has it you guys got a charter bus. What was that like? What is this environment like? It's a sold-out crowd. What is that like?
The bus was a lot of fun, and we were just so excited to see these girls and watch them and look up to them.
Do you have a favorite player?
Skylar Wallace.
Why is she your favorite player?
She just brings so much energy and swag to the game, and she's always ready.
Okay, are you guys cheering for the Bandits then?
Yes.
Well, there we go.
There you go.
Hard hit into center field. One hops the wall. And Jocelyn Erickson is going to deliver an extra base hit.
That team drove 5 hours. Trisha and her daughter's team, the Diamond Heat, came from Michigan. This bus, Trisha set up for the whole Diamond Heat team to travel almost 300 miles to come to this game. And what a setup. But this is how serious that people are taking to want to drive 5 hours, fly 3 hours, or cross country to see these games live in person. The AUSL is just absolutely taking off.
And it's been really neat. This is the first year the league has teams in home markets, so it gives access to a bunch of different places. Yes, they barnstormed the nation last year, but a chance for many of these fans to come out to games regularly as the bunt is laid down. Cascade handle it. And the ruler safe at first. They did.
Oh, yeah, she's flying down the line. Bella Dayton cannot get put out with these bunts that she is laying down. She is just a bunt machine right now. 2 bunt base hits for Bella Dayton, using her speed and perfectly placing them toward the middle of the field.
Gotshall back out there for her first full inning of work. Came on to get the final out of the second after Sam Landry went an inning and a third, gave up 5 earned runs. Bayani almost found one inside the chalk. Bayani coming off of a game where she hit her first pro home run on Sunday. Sam Landry looking on. Bit of a surprise, that start tonight for Sam Landry. She's been that good this year, 3 straight complete games coming in, but didn't look at her top form early, and the Bandits were able to hang 5 on her.
I mean, she'd only given up.
Cahalan looks the runner back at third, goes to first. 2 outs in the inning.
She had only given up 4 earned runs the entire year. And she gave up 5 earned runs in the 1 1/3 that she had pitched in this game. That tells you how good that she's been, what a rarity of an outing that it was for Sam Landry to start this game, how she was just a little bit off.
And they will intentionally walk Skylar Wallace here to load the bases for last year's AUSL MVP. That's a gutsy decision right there. Does set up the force out.
Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit of fuel for somebody like Erin Koffel. There could be some strategy and some reasons for it, as you mentioned. Defensive force at any out, or excuse me, at any bag, but still as a hitter, it's going to fire you up.
Skylar Wallace already having a night single, a hit by pitch, an intentional walk. She's been on base 3 times through the first 3 innings. Chicago with a chance to break this game open as Gotshall gets ahead 0-2. That a setup pitch right there?
I'm just trying to throw that curveball a little bit off the plate, see if she can chase it. That curveball is Peyton Gottschall's best pitch. She'll probably continue to try to throw it on that side of the plate. There's a backdoor curveball there, so she'll throw it on both sides of the plate. Backdoor curveball for a softball pitcher is going to look like it starts at a right-handed hitter's left hip and then break back across the inside corner. So that likely was a setup pitch to then be able to go to the outside corner, likely with an off-speed pitch.
And does just that, misses off the plate as the count evens. 2's wild here, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, and a chance for the Bandits to break this one wide open. As Gotshall continues to stay away, the count moves full.
Be so careful to a hitter like Erin Koffel, and this is an important pitch right here for Gotshall to hit a spot.
3-2. That one went a long way, but well foul. Koffel, the best hitter in the league a season ago. MVP hitter of the year. Has not had the home run pop this season, but has continued to find ways to be a major part of this team. 387 average, 12 hits. We mentioned her league-leading 12 walks. 3-2, just off the corner. And that will walk in Jocelyn Erickson, and the decision to intentionally walk Skylar Wallace does not pay off.
What a take by Erin Koffel. This pitch is a little bit down, little off the plate. You have to be so careful with her at the plate. Peyton Gotshall tried to sell it thinking that she could get that call, but I do believe that was a ball, and just a good take by Erin Koffel.
That's why I don't love that decision there to intentionally walk Wallace. Yes, she's a great hitter. Yes, Koffel is as well, but you take away some of your margin for error a little bit. Comes back to bite the Cascade here, who still have the bases loaded. A 4-run edge, and Sammy Williams at the plate. Hits this one into center field. Folby's back on it. It doesn't matter. Slammy Williams with a grand slam. And the Bandits are up big on the Cascade. A first grand slam of the year for Chicago, and a 10 spot through 2 2/3.
Sammy Williams is just on a different level this season. Curveball, Peyton Gotshall wanted to bring it up because she missed the last one to Koffel, a little bit down, and it's up right into the wheelhouse of Sammy Williams. 3 on, turn it into a grand slam. Sammy Williams again comes through with an extra base hit with runners in scoring position. She is hitting .800 with runners in scoring position this season.
And now has 22 RBIs, 6 tonight for Sammy Williams. Pitchers have been trying to figure out how to get her out lately. They've not had a ton of success. And she came in a little bit unheralded. Yes, she was a great college player, but we've not seen her in an Athletes Unlimited league in several years. And she's just come in and tore the cover off the softball. Barbara keeps the inning going. And this Cascade staff just not missing bats as we go down to Nicole.
You guys have been on an absolute tear starting in Oklahoma City, now here. What has been the mindset of you and this offense?
I think it's just communicating in between, making adjustments between pitches, between pitchers, and it's worked out for us. And just that connection between each batter, talking to each other and understanding what they saw has worked for us.
You've worn that hat several times already. Do you feel like it's made for your head here?
Yeah, I'm excited to put it on every time, so.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, she has been wearing it a ton lately. 31 runs over the last 3 games for this Bandits offense. I have to imagine when Jenny Dalton-Hill put this team together, she was thinking of nights like tonight. And now Zirkle hits one hard to right field. It's off the glove of Ashton Maloney, and that'll allow the inning to continue. The sun was directly in her face, and it looked like she just misread that ball.
Yeah, maybe just got caught in the sun and took it for granted, maybe doing some weird things with this win, but Ashton Maloney was so sure-handed in right field at Texas, winning those 2 national championships. A rookie just got here to Portland a couple of games ago, probably kicking herself for that mistake, could have gotten him out of the inning.
So instead, the inning continues for Maricopa. 0 for 2 tonight, did reach on an error back in inning number 1. An 8-run lead for the Bandits, and suddenly thinking about an early night here. If this stands, run rule would be in effect after 5 innings. Still a long way to go. Chicago coming out and making a statement against this Cascade team that came in the 2nd best in the league.
This team, the way that they hit against the Oklahoma City Spark in Oklahoma City, they're keeping that momentum going. They have scored, what, over 30 runs in their last 3 games?
Yeah, 31, and now 14 home runs in their last 10 games. Just doing everything right as Morgan Zirkle steals a base.
I just feel like the Cascade today have been playing on their heels. They've been playing slow, and the Bandits have been the complete opposite of that. They have been attacking, aggressive, taking extra bases, playing fast.
Yacopa hits one high to left field, to the wall. It gets through the glove of Otis. 2 runs are going to score. Yacopa goes to 3rd, and the Bandits are pouring it on. Seven in the inning and a 10-run edge for Chicago.
Looked like that had a chance to be an out, but again, this win, Corby Otis trying to track it down. The wind is blowing out and toward left field, so that ball just kept carrying. It's difficult for Otis to track down, and another hit for the Bandits.
Outfielders have had a lot of trouble in this game. A couple balls to right. Saw Maloney misplay that one a few moments ago. Seen a couple of weird reads. This Bandits team got off to the slow start to the year, 0-4. They were swept in their first series. 6-3 though over their last 9 games, and a big advantage here. This was a team that was in that championship series a year ago, falling in 2 games to the Utah Talons. With all the pitching back, you start to think of this Bandits team as, again, one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah, I think that getting Skylar Wallace back from Japan was essential, and just this team taking a different identity into games. She was such a big leader for them last year, and I think that you felt her presence missed to begin the season.
Erickson grounds to second, and we'll continue that thought a little bit later. The Bandits gets free pitch on the ESPN app. Well, it's Tuesday night here in Chicago. Heat is the word. 95 degrees and some heat for the Bandits at the plate. And if you're Lexi Kilfoyle, you gotta love the run support. 26 runs of support so far in her first 2 starts of the year. Not bad.
And she's still continuing to be so efficient, so doing her job.
Man, I've got to ask, as a pitcher in this situation, you've got a 10-run lead. How does that change your approach the rest of this game?
Just kind of takes the pressure off of you. You go out to the circle, you feel a little bit lighter, a little bit looser, knowing that you have that 10-run lead. Game doesn't feel so tight. There's so many innings in this league where these pitchers are having to pitch in tight games, tie games, 1-run games against these excellent hitters. So this just feels like so much fun.
Cahalan hits the ball hard to left. The catch is made by Taryn Kern for out number 1. Bandits had a 7 spot in the bottom of the 3rd, sent 11 batters to the plate, had 5 hits. And they hit for the cycle. A single, double, a triple, a home run. Not a bad inning. And that home run, the grand slam from Sammy Williams as Vidalis swings at the first pitch, pops it up into right. And Kilfoyle using the big run support well. 2 quick outs here in the 4th.
Even after that long inning, coming out and throwing strikes right away.
Batting next, number 1, Kennedy Powell.
I'll bring up Kennedy Powell. Singled and drove in a run in what feels like forever ago. That was back in the 2nd inning. That gave Portland their first run of the game. They would get a 2nd on the Sis Bates RBI triple to tie the game, but since then the Bandits have exploded. 10 unanswered.
Talked about both of these teams being so hot coming into this game. Remember, the Cascade just swept the Volts in Texas. So they were coming in feeling really good about themselves. They hit more home runs in that series than they had hit for the entire year before that.
Powell grounds to 2nd, and a clean 1-2-3 inning on just 7 pitches for Lexi Kilfoyle, who is rolling. Chicago cruising here on a Tuesday night.
Her small stature, but plays the game with a ton of joy. And Patty Gasso loved the way at Oklahoma, how hard she worked.
Here's Bella Dayton. The exit velocity on her 3 hits in this game, incredibly low. That one only 62 miles per hour. Bella Dayton 3 for 3 with 3 singles in the infield.
And tap and go here. First time she's not laying down a bunt, goes to her soft slap, puts it to the deepest part of the field to Kenley Cahalan, who was playing back. She read that she was playing back, not playing in the baseline. So that was just an easy base hit for Dayton.
First multi-hit game of the year for Bella Dayton, who missed some time playing for Team Italy over in Prague. Back and slotted right back into the outfield as Ilana Agbayani comes to the plate. She is the only Bandit who has not reached base tonight. Chicago's wrapped out 11 hits through the first 3+ innings of this game. It's another dominant showing from this offense that is the best in the league statistically. They'll catch the inside corner. One thing we've not talked a lot about for this Cascade team, they've been on the road a lot. And you have to imagine that being on the road a ton, it can start to affect you. And you talked about it. It felt like maybe they came out a little sluggish tonight as Agbayani joins the party. Every Bandit has reached base by the 4th inning.
They're hitting the ball so hard and so square that it just seems like they almost know what's coming. Like her being able to handle that pitch up at her eyes and square it up the way that she did. Just a great piece of hitting by her.
2 aboard, still nobody out as the lineup turns over to Skylar Wallace. Wallace was intentionally walked an inning and ago to load the bases. Aaron Koffel worked the walk to force in a run, and then Sammy Williams delivered the haymaker, a grand slam, her first of the season.
It's hard to believe that the Bandits, with the way that they're playing these last 3 games, have a losing record coming into this game. You just would never show up to the ballpark and think that. And I'm sure that the Bandits fans are excited to see this team play the way that they're capable of, because their home series have been a little rough for them, where they did not look like this. This has been a turning point for the Bandits. The last 3 games, they have been playing like a completely different team, and I'm sure that they got here in their home field happy to show their fans what they're really made of in their home field.
A great crowd to do just that. Here's the 2-2 to Wallace off the plate. This Bandits team got punched in the mouth to begin the season. They were 0-4. There was a 3.5-hour meeting that took place at one time, and since then 6-3, and very well could be 7-3 by the end of the night as Wallace goes down looking. And you have to imagine that the return of some of these pieces from Japan has been reinvigorating for this Bandits team that was already starting to find some success.
And we talked about Skylar Wallace and Lexi Kilfoyle, Kat Sandercock also being added back to the roster. Lexi Kilfoyle, though, has just looked outstanding.
Kat Sandercock's going to throw in game number 2 of this series. She is the projected starter. If you're Sandercock, you got to be asking for the same type of run support that Lexi Kilfoyle's gotten in her first 2 starts since coming back from Japan.
Yeah, and isn't that so great that in AUSL we get probable starters? We do not get that in the college game. Just another difference. We don't get the lineup until 30 minutes before game time, so we don't find out who's pitching until 25 minutes before first pitch at times. So being able to have the probable starting matchups and pitchers, it's been so fun.
We got the starting lineups for this game 4 hours ahead of time. Amanda, I didn't know what to do with myself this afternoon.
I'm living in my golden summer here with lineups getting that far in advance, and we just get so spoiled here.
Complete credit to the AUSL. They do things well. You were probably sitting by the pool, just enjoying your afternoon in the midst of this. What do you call it, a heat dome? Is that what you said?
Heat dome. That's what it's called here, yeah.
I didn't know you were such a great meteorologist. One of your many talents. As that catches the inside corner, Koffel down looking.
Well, how about the adjustments that Sammy Williams has made in her at-bat? Her first at-bat, she struck out against Sam Landry, and she struck out on a drop ball outside. It was well placed, but you know that this swing, this pitch location was in the back of her mind, because then the next 2 swings that she had were for extra bases, and they were both on outside pitches, just a little bit more up in the zone. So she had a double after that, and then the grand slam. All 3 of her at-bats have been either a put-out or an extra base hit on the outside corner.
And I think that's what makes these athletes so impressive, is their ability to make in-game adjustments. We see it oftentimes from the pitchers, the batters as well. Just a pro approach. 6 RBIs tonight for Sammy Williams.
I feel like that's good. Is a 6 RBI game good?
It's not bad by the 4th inning. This one into the stands. Fans trying to make the play, unable to do so. 14 extra base hits this year. And for Sammy Williams, she's squarely in the MVP conversation at this point with the year she's having early on in the season.
And Maya Brady was putting up these type of numbers too, and then Maya Brady went on the IR. She's been injured, so hasn't gotten to hit in the last 3 or 4 games, but Sammy Williams and Maya Brady have been the best hitters in the league up to this point.
I think what makes it even more impressive is Sammy Williams still has a day job. She's working for the Chicago Cubs and trying to help their baseball analytics department as a software engineer and raking on the field. Here's the 1-2. In on her hands, it doesn't matter, drops it in. The throw home, not in time. And a 7 RBI night for Sammy Williams.
And she is a triple away from the cycle. You just cannot be on fire any more than what Sammy Williams is. It's hard to believe that she struck out in her first at bat because she's just seeing the ball so well. Clearly did not let that strikeout affect her. She's gone 3 for 3 since it with 7 RBIs.
Get the sense that her worst enemy in terms of getting that cycle right now is probably the scoreboard. With the score as it is, the Cascade would be down to their final 3 outs in the next inning. Nicole?
Well, speaking of Sammy Williams, she knows ball. She works for the Chicago Cubs, and we all know that Sammy Williams can hit, but I bet you don't know that she actually got to hit in spring training for the MLB with her boyfriend, who is actually an assistant director of Major League Development. So they did a lot of development in this offseason, and you're seeing the result of that with her swing here.
Something certainly working for Sammy Williams. A triple shy of the cycle, 7 RBIs, and now the inning will continue as Taryn Kern gets hit by the pitch.
And think about how they're doing this against one of the best pitching staffs in the league. The Cascade and the pitching staffs, when you look at all of the numbers, and Chicago said, okay, so what? 13 runs will still put up against you.
We talked all day long about how we thought this matchup was going to go. We thought we could see a pitcher's duel, and it has been far from that. That's softball, Amanda.
You just never know.
Here's Zirkle into left field. Otis with the snow cone. Makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Chicago with a chance to close this thing out when we come back. Lexi Kilfoyle's night is done. Emily Kennedy in for her second appearance of the season.
Emily Kennedy, another one of those players returning from Japan. So we talked about Lexi Kilfoyle and Kat Sandercock in the third pitcher that played in the Japan Diamond League, which is a highly respected league, professional league in Japan. Is going to be Emily Kennedy in her second year coming from Texas A&M.
Also a new catcher is Jocelyn Erickson, who's been playing first base for most of the night, slides behind the dish. Taryn Kern, who was out in left, is now at first. Just goes to show you the interchangeability of this Bandits team. Get the sense that it will be a real strength down the stretch of the year on top of this pitching staff that's going to dramatically improve with these new pieces. Sis Bates' second at bat of the night. An RBI triple back in the second inning. At the time, that tied this game at 2 apiece. You thought Portland was going to put up a fight. And the Bandits were not having any of that tonight.
It's a good time for the Bandits to bring in Emily Kennedy. Just for her second appearance, it's coming back from Japan League, being able to get her some time out in the circle, get her comfortable, and get her some experience with this new team. And I think, too, on the other side, Cascade just wanted to keep Peyton Gotshall in there as long as she could possibly go because they did not want to show one of their other 3 pitchers and setting up for their second game that they'll play on Wednesday.
Here's Bates, shallow right field. And an adventure once again. Bates is going to third. And is in there. 2 triples tonight for Sis Bates. That one was interesting. It has not been a walk in the park out in right field this evening for any outfielder.
It has not been. It has been tough days fighting that sun. This was sky high as well, and Dayton trying to get underneath it, but you could tell exactly when she lost it.
Balby swinging at the first pitch. Catch made in left. And Sis Bates comes across to score. A 10-run deficit now for the Cascade. And ESPN's live coverage of the champions, Wimbledon, continues Wednesday. Round 2 kicks off on center court at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And 7-time Wimbledon champ Novak Djokovic plays at approximately noon Eastern. Stream all the action live on the ESPN app each day. And Amanda, we talked about all the free time that we had on our hands. I actually spent most of mine watching Serena Williams make her return to the grass court.
That's cool that you had free time today.
That's
no,
fair.
I'm jealous of you.
You were sitting by the pool.
But no pool time for me today, just for everybody to know. But I did get a chance to watch Serena Williams compete at Wimbledon. That was really special. It was pulling for her mindset, the competitive mindset that Serena Williams has. It's just next level. And Ben Shelton losing in the first round as well.
Such a cool moment for Serena Williams making her return, doing it in front of her daughters who were in the stands. One of those moments that you're probably going to remember for many years to come. Otis in the air to right. This one easier for Dayton. 2 outs in the inning.
Chicago, we were wondering, are they going to be able to keep that offensive momentum from the weekend? And the answer is yes. 13 runs in this game. Just came out swinging. They have scored in every inning.
Scored 25 in the 2-game series earlier this week, 13 more today, 35 runs total over the last 3 games. Cascade will be looking to bounce back. Came in with the best road record in the league at 7-2 this year. There's the 0-2 to Megan Grant. That hits her. Actually, they'll call that a foul ball. May have got the knob of the bat.
Kind of hard to tell, huh? Looks like an optical illusion whether it hit the knob of her bat or hit her. If I was going off of her reaction and how it looked, I would say more her hand than the knob.
That was her.
Yeah, backing. Oh, that's much better view there. You're able to clearly see it was off of her backhand.
So off the hand, and Megan Grant will see another pitch. 0-2, chases upstairs, and the Chicago Bandits win this game here in Rosemont. An impressive showing for this offense. 35 runs over the last 3 games. And for the first time this year, Chicago gets back to 500.
Everybody doing it, not just relying on one player, doing it a lot of different ways, from Bella Dayton laying down a couple of drag bunts to using her speed, and then able to see the home run production. Sammy Williams with the grand slam. This Bandits lineup is seeing the ball so big right now. 13 hits.